Carrie here from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. You are listening to the Expecting Aerialist podcast. Can you please say your whole name? Because I'm going to butcher it. I've never tried in my life.
My real whole name?
I mean, yeah.
Benjamin Svyatoslavich.
Oh, yeah, there's no way. And I've known Benji for many years. We used to train in the same facility, and he's like one of the most entertaining circus people I've ever come in contact with. Because I have stories about you, but I want to save them. So right now, I just want to catch up on what you've been doing, because the last time I saw you was years and years and years ago. Benji is a circus aerialist, acrobat, contortionist. He is Russian Dominican and like just a bright, sparkling light. That's how I always saw him.
Aww.
Yeah. So he's a dad now. He's got a 4-year-old. And when I spent time with him, he was the flexibility coach for the U.S. synchronized swimming team. Am I right about that?
Yes.
At the time, years ago, probably 5 years ago. And he was performing and also coaching. And I would be in the facility that we worked out together in. And it was an open gym. So, I'd be teaching a class or a private, and he'd be teaching a private. This one time I remember the girl was like 14, 15, 16 years old, not that young. So here's my assumption. And I don't know if my assumption is wrong.
Go for it.
My assumption is that she was not one of your high level students, because she was on the floor crying, like a bawling. And you've got your foot on her leg, pushing her into a stretch and like yelling at her in Russian, which I don't think she understood a word of it, which is the other reason that I was laughing. So I'm like another coach in the space, and I'm watching you coach this girl who didn't look like she was at the caliber that you normally are coaching. And she's a little older too. I don't think she was that young. And my students, who are still my students now, still talk to me about that story that one day. They still are like, I never realized how nice you are to us until we met Benji. I was like, I am nice.
You see?
You see? Look at that. Like, because I'm not touching my students, but if they do something bad, I'm like, you're making my eyes bleed. That was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Like, do it again. It wasn't good. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that was amazing, when it wasn't amazing. It's not helping anybody. You're the reason why my students think I'm nice. And also, basically, Benji just has this like coaching mentality that is just so. It's the reason why you're coaching Team USA for the Olympics.
To save the world from bad gymnasts, and to save the world from bad aerialists and synchronized swimmers. To catch you up on everything since the last time I saw you. I think I saw you at JJ's. And I was working on a cruise ship. I had a show on a Norwegian cruise line. Doing an aerial show with my aerial partner, Curtis Hansen.
Okay.
And I did that for like 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Then after that, I came off the ship, and then I was like, I want to take a break. I want to be with my kid and like watch her grow up. She was 1 at the time when I decided to come off the cruise ship.
Okay.
Pretty much, I've been coaching Rhythmic Gymnastics for USA, and trying to keep like the coaching lifestyle going and like get inspired again, because I kind of lost a bit of I lost like the umph to perform,
to do all of it,
to perform, to like everything. And like, I got my courage and my umph to say when I was coaching before. So I kind of tried to go back to coaching to see if that would like help me out a little bit. And it had, then the pandemic happened. And then my daughter and I and her mom, we separated out of our living situation because we used to live together.
Okay.
The coaching stuff happened, and I built this team that I have now to the best that they could, and I had like girls who were winning first place in almost every competition, and then my daughter started competing, and we traveled to like Florida and like Michigan.
Wow. At 4?
Yeah. So she competed 3 in San Diego and won first place out of all the level 3s, which is like the lowest level.
Okay.
The starting level.
Okay.
We went to Florida this past spring to compete in a competition in Miami, and she, of course, took home the title. Grand champion.
And there's other 4-year-olds also competing, or they're a little older?
They're older. She won out of 32 girls.
What's the age range?
The oldest girl was 12. So it was like 4 to 12.
Oh, okay. Because it's like the beginning, beginning group, but they could be any age. OMG. Okay. You've obviously been training your daughter in flexibility and rhythmic gymnastics since she could stand up.
Oh, since she couldn't even stand up. She was standing in my hands like when she was like months. Okay.
I feel like what's the word when I'm underachieving? Parent. I feel like I'm underachieving. I feel like I'm an underachiever, which doesn't happen very often. So if anybody would make me feel that way, it'd probably be you. Because, like my stories and my memories about you, it's kind of the same. So anyways, so when she was like, laying there and you're playing with her, you're like molding her feet and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm stretching her. Her mom, so we had a 2-bedroom condo, and I would stay in the second bedroom and her mom would be in the master bedroom.
Okay.
And she would sleep with her one night, sleep with me one night, sleep with her one night, sleep with me one night.
Got it.
So when she was with me, and her mom's a rhythmic gymnast also. She went to the Olympics for rhythmic gymnastics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When she's sleeping on mom with the tit, she's stretching her feet. She's like stretching her knees, making her straddle, like when she's sleeping, And then when she's with me, I'm like stretching her arms, stretching her feet, stretching her legs. So she's getting it like every day from like each one of us. It was like destined for her to be like how she is now,
But did you guys plan to have her?
Yes.
Okay. Did you decide were you like, I really want a kid?
So I was 26 at the time, and I was like, kind of want to have a kid. And she's like, I'm getting old. I need to have a kid. And her mom adores me. I adore her mom too. Her mom is in Israel, and her mom is like, you should have a kid with Ben. And she asked me, and I was like, okay, cool. And then we just decided to do it.
I love it.
We didn't do it, but we did it.
Yeah, I get it. But that's amazing because other men who are in your position, they don't necessarily have the opportunity to have
true story.
A natural, like their own DNA.
Yeah.
By the way, there's no rhythmic gymnast boys. There's no competitive circuit, right?
For USA, no.
Okay.
But Spain and Russia and Europe have started a trend of getting boys in the sport. And at one point, they were going to take out rhythmic gymnastics in the Olympics because it wasn't a co-ed sport. So it was technically sexist.
Okay. Sure.
So now they've branched out and started doing these like big events in like Europe and Spain and stuff to try and like make it co-ed.
I mean, you would have been right there had it been your.
Oh, you
would have been right there.
If it was 10 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, then you would be an Olympian, but it's not in the Olympics right now.
Exactly.
That kind of sucks. Okay, so a lot of these little girls go through a lot of pain in their training, but because she experienced that type of stretching from two people who really knew what they were doing early on, what is that like for her? Is it her body just goes there? Like, and now she just has to work on strengthening to meet the flexibility?
It's honestly, it's actually really challenging for her even now because she is a bit more advanced than the other 4-year-olds or 6-year-olds. You know, like some of those girls are just starting.
Of course, because that's kind of normal.
Right. But you don't usually start at like 2. For her, it's hard because she's working on a higher demand than her age level. So it'll always be a bit harder for her than the average of her age group.
Well, because she expects more of herself. But when it comes to like the actual physical stuff, are you talking about the physical stuff or like the mental side of it?
Physical and mental. Like, you know, like we have an expectation of her because that's our daughter.
Yeah.
And she has to perform and she has to do things on a certain caliber. Versus, you know, someone that isn't my daughter, but is in the same age group. You know what I mean? I mean,
you're Russian.
Russian Dominican.
The more I do this podcast, I realize that my preconceived notion of what my family was like, because I'm Chinese, and I thought that only Chinese families are like that. And I'm wrong. I'm 1,000% wrong. Everybody I've talked to that gets to this high level of athleticism, a lot of it is similar, you know, just the expectation early on and like, you know, just fighting your whole life to stay at a certain level, you know?
It's funny that you say that because like I look back now I had this thing in the gym called You Owe Me.
Oh no. Like you owe me over splits. Okay.
Yeah. If someone does something wrong, they owe me. So they owe me double jumps, which is like jumping through the rope and the rope has to spin 2 times. Usually if you owe me, you get like 100 first off and you have to do 100. And to join back to the group, you have to do like 50 in a row without stops. If you stop, then you don't join the group. You stay on the side until you can show me 50 in a row. For my daughter, when she owes me sit-ups.
Okay.
Because she stands with her stomach sticking out all the time. So when she owes me like sit-ups. So when we were flying to Florida to go do the competition in Florida, we were in the airport and I made her go over like her tosses with ball. And she had to do like her, you know, like dance steps with the ball and with rope and stuff. And she was looking around at everyone and she kept dropping the ball. And I'm like, if you're going to drop the ball, if you're going to look around at people now in the airport, you're going to look around when you get to the competition.
Yeah.
And you're going to drop the ball. So now you owe me 2 times. So if she owes me 2 times, she owes me 200 sit-ups. We got to Miami and then we got to the hotel. She thought she was getting ready to go to sleep. and I was like, Mila, I said to her in Russian, Mila, что ты делаешь? And she said, I'm going to sleep. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm going to sleep. And I was like, no. And she goes, what? And I'm like, you owe me. And she goes, oh, can I owe you tomorrow? And I'm like, no. You owe me for today. You pay me what you owe me today. And then tomorrow, if you owe me again, then you owe me tomorrow. So she gets out of the bed and she like comes, like lays in front of me and I put my legs over her legs. And then she starts counting. Раз, и, два, и, три. So it happens everywhere. It happens like all around, you know?
Benji, like when it comes to like really good podcasts, you're really good because you're so entertaining. And then anyway, you're so entertaining. Yeah. So you were talking about how it's changed a little bit. And then after that, if you could talk to me about who you're coaching, like not specifically, but like what you're doing with the students now so that they can be ready for Tokyo and et cetera.
You know what's crazy is like, even in gymnastics and in synchro, everything has changed. Like they up the caliber of what gymnasts and synchronized swimmers should be doing and the flexibility
wise
that they should have. But there's also now this new thing. We had to change our curriculum of coaching and how we coach, how we stretch, you know, because of the situation with, you know, the sexual abuse in rhythmic gymnastics or in gymnastics in general. So there's this thing now called safe sport where, you know, like we can't physically touch the kids. We can't physically, you know, or even mentally like say things that will bring them down, you know, like things like that. So it's been a lot harder since I came back into coaching to coach, because when I was getting coached, my coach was like, oh, you don't want to sit in oversplit, so you're going to sit longer. You know, like, oh, if I'm pushing you and you're crying, then you obviously need it. So you're going to get stretched harder. You're going to get stretched longer. Like that's how my coaches were. And like now, because of the rule that was put down with safe sport, we can't do that anymore, you know? So it's been a bit harder to like be myself in coaching. So I've had to like change my way of how I coach. But if I coach adults, it's a different story. You know, like I kind of get to be like my old self. But when I'm coaching like the kids and for USA Gymnastics, like even going to competitions, like even with my daughter, you know, like I can't like smack her legs, you know, like wake up, smack her arm. I can't, like, I'm not supposed to do that, which is so different from how my coach was and how I learned the sport. So that's been a bit hard. That it's also taught me a different technique of coaching.
Do you feel like you can have figured out how to get the same results with this new style that you've had to develop for yourself?
Yeah, that's why they owe me.
Okay, got it. I mean, legit, out of all the coaches I've ever seen, the reason why like you make me smile so much is because, well, besides also you're doing this with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying it with a smile on your face. You just like, you're just so hardcore. But the point is that you cannot be at that level with gymnastics and not have that type of expectation from your coach, I think.
Right.
I don't know how somebody was be successful without that.
The girls that I've worked with, the team that I worked with, like the synchro team, some of the girls are still on the team now. That was Rio Olympics, that they went to the Olympics.
Yes.
It was only a duo that went, not the whole team.
Okay.
The girls that were on the whole team that I worked with, it was really crazy to see because they all pushed each other, which was really nice to see. Because when I first started training them for their land training, it was so hard for them. They were crying. And some of these girls have, 2 girls, I think, went to the Olympics before already. So they're not really girls. They're ladies, you know, like.
Right.
One of the synchro swimmers was, I think she was like 26. She was like 2 years younger than I was at the time. And she was a Russian girl, actually. And like, it's funny because she was the one that pushed everyone else, but slacked off the hardest. And I would like be screaming at her in Russian, like, get it together, давай, come on, ты можешь сделать, you know, like, and she kind of brought everyone into this thing of like, come on, you can do it, like, just hold it, just do it. She really didn't slack off, but she slacked off on her own self, which was kind of weird to me because she had already experienced like going to the Olympics and like going through the training and how hard everything was, but this was a completely different like training for her, you know? So it was very different to see like someone who was of that caliber to act that way. And then the other girls were like being uplifted by her. It was really like super crazy to me.
I mean, maybe she's really supposed to be a coach.
True story.
Maybe. Okay, that's the other story I have about you. So this must have been the timing. You must have been training some people, some students at JJ's at the same time as you're getting those girls ready for the Rio Olympics. At the same time, and then before the contract going to the cruise, because then I didn't see you for years.
Yeah.
So I remember you telling me this story. About you training these synchronized swimmers on the ground. You would set up chairs or mats. I don't remember what it was, but it would be a tunnel. It would be like mats or chairs stacked up in a tunnel, and this would be their setup for oversplits. And you would put them in one side, and as a team, they had to balance, and if one of them came out of it, the whole team had to do it again.
Yes.
Am I remembering this correctly?
Yes.
So you very graphically explained to me how the girls would be in their oversplit, crying as they're in it, just barely hanging on. But I think you did like the whole thing for me. I think you got into an oversplit and did like you acted the whole thing out. You might have done that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I loved it. No, I loved it. So, so you just have... Yeah, you're just coaching these girls who are at the top of their game and going into these huge competitions. So, your personality always just lit me up because of course I'm not on the other end of your coaching. I think maybe I'd have a different viewpoint of it if I was. But right now you are training for flexibility for rhythmic gymnastics. But are you training all the other things too? Are you choreographing? Are you working with the apparatuses?
Choreographing, doing apparatus, teaching them aerial also. And
okay.
Like my biggest thing is that if you're going to do something and you want to beat someone in what you're doing, doesn't matter who you are, you have to push yourself as hard as you can. Like, I didn't get to where I am today from feeling sorry for myself. Oh, I'm a guy, I can't do rhythmic gymnastics. No, I work now at one of the top schools in the USA for rhythmic gymnastics. You know, like I built my own. My mom told me when I told her that I wanted to do gymnastics and ballet, she told me, oh, boys don't do ballet, boys don't do gymnastics, you know? So for me, like, there's no excuse. And the way you train yourself is what you're going to get out of life in general. So if you're going to give up on oversplits because it's 2 minutes and you're going to cry and whine and fall down, then that's how you're going to treat yourself in life in every situation that you deal with that's hard. So that's one of like my biggest things of why I coach the way I coach and do the things I do when I coach.
Can you talk to me about your contract on the ship? What your experience was like? Did you like doing the same act every day for that long?
Okay, so everyone always gets ship life completely misconstrued. Everyone's like, oh my God, you know, like you're on a ship, you never touch land. And I'm like, actually, we touch land almost every day. You know, if we don't have a port to go to, then we have a sea day, like 2 sea days. Okay, wow. You know, like not a big deal.
Yeah.
My show that I did 2 shows on my first contract, first, second, and third contract. My 4th contract, we had a company called Burn the Floor come on, who hired me to do that show also and do their world tour, which was really cool.
Cool.
I was their aerialist / learning to do ballroom at the same time.
Oh, yes.
They actually do ballroom dancing for the company, and they do ballroom dancing for like UK's Got Talent and Strictly Dancing.
Oh,
Strictly
nice.
Come Dancing, yeah. So, not America's Got Talent, sorry.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, there we go.
Dancing with the Stars. So UK Dancing with the Stars.
I worked with them for a bit, and to be honest, like if we had a 7-day cruise, I worked 3 days out of the cruise. I did my show the first day, the second day, and the last day.
Okay.
And that was it. I had my own cabin.
Yeah, that's kind of great.
Yeah, I had my own cabin. I didn't have any extra duties, which was really cool because I got to like explore like the cruise, meet a lot of people, and do things that people that do like the 12-hour shifts on cruise ships don't get to do, like get off the ship, go out, party, hang out,
Yeah.
If we had like an overnight, I could stay off the ship for 2 days, So the contract itself, like all the contracts that I've done itself was like amazing and great. It was definitely hard when I had to do like the shows by myself. There were times where like my aerial partner like hurt himself or injured himself or was sick, and I would have to do the show by myself. And when we were in Australia and we were doing the Australia cruise, it was like a 10-day cruises. We would go to like Tasmania, we would go to like New Zealand, we would go to Fiji, and
nice.
It was hard because I had to do, it was hard because I had to do the show by myself. So I really had to be like on my P's and Q's, and it was like super exhausting. So I would take the day before to like relax and like not do anything. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to hang out, So I kind of like got in my zen pretty much. And then the next day would like put like everything hard, balls deep to say.
Balls deep. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say that. That's so funny. No, but you had to be on point, and it took a little bit more than if you were on your own.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
And what was it about? You said you lost your passion a little bit, your fire. Is it because you were doing the same act all the time?
It wasn't because I was doing the same act. I think I lost my fire just because I lost my partner, like my aerial partner, and like being on the ship, you do have like a lot of restrictions. And in my head, the restrictions came with me performing.
Okay.
And in my head, I kind of like put those two things together. And that's what kind of caused me to lose passion for doing aerial and performing, because I mixed the two together. Because there were situations that happened on the ship that I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Like I wouldn't have to deal with this if I was on land,
Sure. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's very militant on the ship. Like I had a lot of freedom, but it was very militant. So I'm not used to that.
Okay.
So I myself am like, I don't like to be treated this way and, like being spoken to this way. So for me, that was like a bit of a hard change from being on land and doing a show and like leaving and going home, or, like, going
you can have your own life. You're not
right. Yeah. And then like having to be involved with like the guests, it was not an issue, but I loved it a lot. But like having to promote myself to the guests and then also having to be like a little bit behind closed doors at the same time was like a little bit hard because I'm a very open social butterfly. And I like, if someone's there, they want to chit chat, I'm going to chit chat with them. They want to have a drink, I'm going to have a drink with them, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So in your mind, performing kind of got tossed into that.
Yeah.
Bag.
Into that pot of don't like it, you know, and
right.
Coming off the ship and like being with my daughter and, you know, like I got called a few times to go back to the ship and I denied them. And then they asked me to come and do like a rehearsal period, which was like 6 weeks. And it was like super hard to do just because like I was not around my daughter 24/7 like I usually am. And then like, you know, like it's like her growing years, you know, she would call me on the phone and we would like video chat on the phone because she knows how to use the tablet at like 2.
Of course. I mean, after a pandemic year, my daughter knows everything about FaceTime.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine even being away from her for a day now, you know? So like, I haven't actually taken any work. I haven't been offered any out of town work since she was born anyway. So it hasn't really become a question. Like I didn't have to answer that question. I was on a commercial in the last month or so. And you know, when you're on set, you don't know when you're going to be out.
Yeah.
We had a babysitter for the first time because of course the pandemic, we didn't really have babysitters a lot. And my dude was at work. It was a weekday. This is the first time neither of us were home that day. And this little bean went on a hunger strike.
Uh-oh.
She did not eat anything or drink anything the whole time we were gone.
Oh, really?
So my dude like ended up coming home from work a little early. So total it was 6 hours that she was with the babysitter. And now, of course, that same babysitter comes and she doesn't even say goodbye to me. She's so happy about the babysitter being there. But that first time.
That's literally how our nanny was. That's how our nanny, like, she sent her to the nanny a few days ago because she had to work in Hollywood. And she, like, was like, oh, Oksana. And then, like, Oksana's, like, trying to talk to Svyata, my daughter's mom. She's, like, not listening. She's trying to pull Oksana to the house, like, get away from her, you know, like, let's go into the apartments.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first time, and it's not like that's the first time she had met her, but she was just stressed because we'd never been gone that long. So now I just have her here when my dude has to work and then I have to work at the same time, but it's only a couple hours. I usually go teach a class or something. But yeah, I can't really imagine being away at this age. And I might feel that way for a really long time. I don't know.
I feel like you will, but if she's with like, it'll ease you more if she's like with someone that you trust, like you really trust. Cause like,
yeah, totally.
For me, like I didn't want her to leave either, like to go, even when she's with her mom, but I know she's with her mom. And then like her mom is the same way with me, you know, like when we flew out for the first time, she flew to Florida to meet like my mom and my sister and her cousin for the first time. And like, her mom was like, oh my God, you know, like, make sure you do this, make sure you do this, make sure you do this. And I was like, Svyata, do you not realize, like, I've been with her without you for like 2 days, you know, like you go out for like hours. Because when I came off the ship, I wasn't working.
So my bean is playing with my packets of birth control, which I'm about to start taking because I don't want a second right now. And I don't want to open it for her. And she's getting upset because I won't open this for her.
Oh, is that what the screams are from?
Yeah. She's looking at me with her angry, angry eyes because can I tell you, I had a C-section and I can't, my abs are just so on and off when it comes to like, it's like it's not a straight trajectory on this like conditioning back into aerial.
I can't even imagine.
It's really on and off. Right now, are you training?
Right now, I am training only to coach the girls.
So
I'm not doing any hardcore training for myself.
What apparatus do you climb when you train the girls?
We're doing right now Lyra and Silks.
Are you feeling like, oh, I want to do this again? Or is it like,
I'm kind of missing the ship because I did 6 apparatuses on the ship. So like,
oh my God, that's why your show is so hard.
Yeah. So it's split between, it's split between 2 of us. So it's 3 and 3. But when I do it by myself, it's like 6. So that's what makes it like so freaking hard. Silk's hammock, bungees, like a duo harness act that I was like holding someone out, you know?
Okay.
And a duo silks, and then a span set act.
Okay. Yeah. So you were earning your money just all at once.
Yeah. All at the same time.
I mean, I feel like that was a 5-year contract. I would have gotten burnout from performing as well.
Yeah.
That's really easy to do. You know, that's a job. That's, you know, I would never say I'm not performing anymore, but just the amount of jobs that come to me that are performing are less than before, especially because I was mostly a dancer, and then performing aerial was like, you know, it was later in my career.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm teaching 6 days a week. I'm sure you're kind of the same. And so I don't train on my own very often either. I just demo for them, warm up with them, stretch with them. Yeah. I think that's common for somebody like you or me who's coaching so much.
Like I'm doing enough to keep myself in shape, but like I lost a lot of muscle and like a lot of like I weighed myself the other day and I was like, oh my God, I'm like 20 pounds lighter than I was when I was on the ship, because I was like, you know, like doing like freaking aerial every day, you know, because I would rehearse and like practice myself every day, you know. Now I'm like, I'm just going to chillax today, or I'm going to go have a drink. I'm going to go to a winery, you know, like.
No, I get it. Okay. The other story I have about you, I think maybe I have a total of 3 stories about you, and this is the 3rd one. You came in to train yourself because you had a gig and you had to end it with a double or triple open star, but it was on your opposite side.
Yes.
It was not your dominant side.
Oh my God.
Do you remember this?
Yes, it was with Rope in Vegas, and it was for Arbonne, this company that does like the facial stuff and like skincare.
Oh, okay. So it was an industrial.
Yeah. And we were at the MGM in this I don't know, stadium. I don't know how you call it. It was like it seats like 16,000 people or something.
Yeah, and the arena, like the arena.
Yeah, where they do the boxing.
Yeah.
And the person who set the choreography was someone who does something on the left side. Or no, she does it on the right side, and I do it on the left side.
Right. And okay.
They were telling us that we all had to do the drop the same exact way. And I said, what if I do it on the other side? And the director was like, no, you have to do it on this side. And in my head, I just could not get it together.
What is your thoughts on that, though? Because my thoughts is it's 3D, it's aerial, it doesn't matter which side you drop from as long as you're doing the same.
To be honest, I was really annoyed. I was really annoyed because it didn't matter which side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it.
It didn't matter. And what was crazy about it was we also were like 200 feet away from each other.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, it was like so stupid. And I freaked out about it. And I was like going crazy. And we got to the venue. And then he goes, I guess there was like 2 other, because there was 4 of us, 4 aerialists. And I guess the other 2 were very uncomfortable with trying to do it also, because the height was like 50 feet. and they didn't feel comfortable with doing it. And we were in the green room and we all came together. And even the girl who did the choreography, she was like, listen, if you guys want to do it on the other side, do it on the other side. So we went to him and we told him, hey, we don't feel comfortable with doing it on the other side. You know, like, can we do it this way on our own side? And then he changed everything and goes, just freestyle for like,
shut up.
5 minutes. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like literally like crapping myself because I was like, I need a, that was the only thing in my head that I was worried about. Like, I was like,
of course,
freaking out about it. And I just wanted to make sure like I got it right. I didn't get stuck in the costume, you know, like, because that's happened to me before in Canada. So I was just like freaking out, you know, and then he comes to us and he's like, I heard that there's like some concerns about doing the drop on the opposite side. You know, don't freak out, you know, like just, we're going to freestyle for 5 minutes. And I was like, first of all,
like, you didn't need to do that.
17 rehearsals.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. This dude with the director, was he an aerialist?
No, he wasn't an aerialist, but he was an acrobat.
Okay, so he knew. Was it just his preference that he thought that being on the same side would read to the audience?
I've worked with him before in China, and he was a bit, his weird, like, I want this, and then he would say, okay, no, I don't want that, and then it would be something else.
Okay, preferences that were didn't make sense to you.
Yeah. So it was just, I was like, okay, you know, like, I'm just gonna do it because, like, this is what he wants, and it is a job, you know.
Sure.
He was my boss.
Sure. No, I've been in that position too, where the choreographer, you know, does a whole hip key sequence, but is a left hip keyer. And then they're like, you have to do left too. I'm like, but why? You know, especially if there's, you know, sometimes for these gigs, you're just like, it's a one rehearsal and then you do it, you know?
Right.
Do it the best you can. Right. But so when I literally love that. I can't remember anything from today. Like, my mom brain is on 10 recently. Like, I accidentally washed a diaper the other day in the washer. Just imagine. So not poopy, just pee, but like, you know, all the stuff inside.
Yeah, the stuff that catches everything.
That becomes this like gel, like expansive, like foam, like all over the inside of the tumbler and then all over everything because, you know, it was my laundry basket in the bathroom and I would like strip her down, put her in the shower. And I did this for a couple of days. And of course I would usually go strip her down, then put the diaper in the wastebasket. I forgot. It didn't happen. So this is what's been happening in my brain lately. But somehow I can reach back into my brain and remember the 3 times that you came in the gym and I was laughing.
Shovel it out.
Shovel it out. But I remember you coming in for this one thing and it was an open star. Because if it was a closed star, you would have been fine. You would have been like, whatever, I don't have to save my life at the end of it. And I remember laying on the floor and I think I was trying to respect the fact that you're doing it. But I was like, why? Like, why are you putting yourself through this? But I didn't want to like, you're like doing your thing. I didn't want to be like, I don't understand why you're putting yourself through this. Yeah. Benji is just like a joy to be around and like so talented and just so great in the air, so great hand balancing, everything. But I would not want to be his student, to be honest. But I'm also not trying to go to the Olympics. True story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be like on music videos and on tour and stuff and dance. I didn't, I have different goals. Okay, so I would love to wrap up with, if you have a piece of advice for, number one, the parents out there. And if you have a piece of advice for our listeners who are, keep in mind, they're aerialists of all ages, of all sizes, of all levels.
my advice to, first of all, parents is stay on top of your kids and like don't give them an outlet to a way out, if that makes any sense at all. If they say they want to do something and they get into like a tough spot with that something that they want to do and they want to quit, push them past that, you know, because that's how athletes are born. That's how, you know, successful people get through things. And for like aerialist athletes, it's going to get hard. It's going to be hard. Nothing's going to be easy. You just have to push yourself and believe in yourself, even when you don't want to. I totally have been there. And when you don't think you can do something, you can do it. And I always tell myself, I need to do something today that scares me. And if I don't do something that scares me, then like I'm not doing the best for myself.
I love it. It really resonates with me that you were going through a bit of a, I don't know if you would call it a funk creatively or just having that passion, because for me, there are many weeks that I'm just not inspired, but I'm coaching all the time. So I'm in the studio and I'm doing it regardless. But I think it's a real thing, and it's really important for us artists to talk about how hard sometimes those spots are, because to be an artist, you have to learn how to get through those spots. You can't just put down a lifetime of work because you're uninspired for 3 weeks.
Right.
It can evolve. It can change into something. Maybe I'll decide to pick up another apparatus, or maybe I'll decide, you know, as I've already decided, I'm not dancing as much anymore. I'm doing aerial. Maybe it evolves, but I push through that moment of inspiration or moment of frustration, because I think if I didn't, even being my age now, I would regret putting the apparatus down for the wrong reason.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. Being unmotivated can motivate you also in a huge way. And like, I get a lot of inspiration now for specific things when I see the girls that I'm coaching do specific things. You know, it kind of makes me go,
yeah,
oh, I need to try to do this way, you know, like, or like the way they're moving this way, like, let me see if I can do that. And then then it kind of opens up my like creativity spot. And then the creativity mindset kind of dives into like,
yeah,
I want to make a new act, you know, like it kind of opens like a door, you know? So that's the big reason why I went back to coaching.
My mom put me in piano and it never clicked. And I quit after 10 years, but I didn't waste that time. Like, I can still play now, even though it didn't really resonate with me. Not everything's going to resonate with your kid, but if they learn how to push through those moments where they want to quit, then that will be a skill set for life.
Yeah.
Whether or not that thing ends up being the thing that they do.
Exactly. But they will learn a life skill from that thing that they've done.
Yeah.
Especially as an adult.
Yeah, because out there are a lot of people who they've never had to push through that moment. And it really is a mind fuck with some adults. They can't figure anything out because they've never experienced that over time. So yeah, I feel like with artists, gymnasts, dancers, I feel like because we've been forced to do that for many, many years over and over, we have a perseverance that some other people don't have.
I feel like a gymnast can do anything. An aerialist can do anything in life because of the training and like the perseverance and, you know, like the hardship that we've had to go through. Because there's been times where I literally, like you said, me trying to do this freaking drop on the opposite side. Numerous times I was standing there trying to do. Like, I never gave up.
Yeah.
Even though it was very frustrating, I never gave up. I kept going. And like, that's exactly the mindset that I've learned with doing gymnastics also. It transpires over to everyday life also.
Absolutely. I think that's why it's so great for kids to be in one of those types of sports or arts, because that is not necessarily so transferable to like school and math and reading. And
right.
I feel like the physical element plays such a big part. You know, it's not just a mental game. It's all of it. It's emotional, it's mental, it's physical. It's all of it. And if you have any advice for those adult aerialists out there who, somebody out there who's needing some inspiration?
One, I want to say is never too late. I've seen and I've coached many different adults that start as an adult and has accomplished like a lot. Super crazy. Sarah Romanovsky's husband, for example, I did a show with my girls doing Rhythmic, and he did rope for the first time. And I remember looking at him and going, oh my gosh, like he's definitely a beginner. And then now he's like an amazing rope aerialist, you know. It's never too late.
Yeah, he's performing for Cirque. He's performing for Cirque and rope.
Yeah, he's with Cirque. It's never too late. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't, because when you say you can't, you can't. If you can, you can. That's what my coach always told me. Did
you know that Christian was just on the podcast right before yours?
No, I didn't.
Did I tell you that?
No.
I just released it about an hour or two ago.
Oh my God, I did not know that. That's so crazy. I literally, the gym that I work at, we did a show, and he did his first rope act in the show, and he's definitely just started, you know, like I can tell, you know. And then I saw him, I want to say 3 to 4 years after, and I was like, oh my God, you know, like amazing. I'm so happy to catch up with you. You also. Yeah. It's so good seeing you and your little bean. A little bean. Yeah, I feel like I've just been lucky to make such great friendships over the years, but we all have contracts. We all go do, you know, like I didn't know. You could have been on the other side of the world. I didn't know. Yeah. Thanks so much to Benji for joining us today. I will put his Instagram on the show notes for you as to not butcher his last name. Thanks so much to Asa Watkins for music and post-production. If you go to the show notes, there's a link there for my curated list on Amazon of aerialist pics of stuff like leotards that I really like, and firm grip and show tights, all the things that you might need for your aerialist lifestyle. And if you would honor me with a 5-star rating and review anywhere you get your podcast, say hi. It really helps others find the podcast easier. Hi, say hi, everyone. You want to say bye? Bye. Bye, guys. Thanks so much. You've been listening to the Expecting Aerialist podcast. So is she learning? Is she going to speak Chinese? Do you speak Chinese to her? I don't know how to speak Chinese. I tried. Carrie. But I tried to learn Chinese in college, and oh my God, it's so hard. I'm sure. I grew up in Ohio. No, there's no chance. There's no way.